before this court is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Are you okay in the truth, Mr. Chair?
I'm right.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Yes, sir. Hunter, Hunter, last name Smith, common spelling, Smith.
And are you employed, sir?
I'm employed by the Michigan State Police.
And how long have you been with Michigan State Police?
About 3 years.
Okay. What's your position?
A trooper.
And what were your duties on October 1st, 2021?
My duties are to cover the northern Oakland County area.
Okay. And how do you do that?
I do that by taking calls for service and
Just quickly, the jury is in the courtroom. Want to make sure that was clear. Let's watch.
stuff along those lines.
I want to take you to that date of October 1st, 2021. Were you dispatched to 1650 Duck Creek Lane in Ortonville?
Not initially. I was dispatched to the Ascension Genesis in Grand Blanc.
Okay, so you were sent only when to the hospital location at first.
Correct.
And what was the dispatch for, to your knowledge?
Our dispatch call was a victim was burned, originating from 1650 Duck Creek Lane, which is in our coverage area.
Okay. Did you work alone that evening?
No, I had two partners, three including myself.
Okay. How many vehicles?
Through 3 vehicles, I believe, or 2 vehicles. I'm not sure.
Okay. What did you find when you got to the hospital?
When I got to the hospital, I was greeted with Julie Imirowicz. I believe it was the son of Konrad. I'm blanking on his name. I'm sorry. And then 2 other witnesses, Lucas and Kayla.
Okay. Now, you said Julie Imirowicz. Do you mean Julie Conrad?
Or correct. Sorry.
Okay. And you don't recall exactly who you met with when you got there?
No, not initially, no.
Okay. Would looking at your report refresh your recollection?
Sure.
May I approach the witness?
Yes, sir.
Just take a look at that, read through it to yourself, and then put it face down and look up at me when you're done. Did that refresh your recollection?
It did, sir.
Who did you meet with when you got there?
So like I said, I met with those 4 witnesses, and then I met with EMS and hospital staff.
Okay. And so what was your process when you got there?
My process when I got there was to interview everyone that was either a witness or there, and then to get further information on how the victim was doing and speak with, EMS and hospital staff to gauge what was happening.
All right. Now, before we get to who said what and who you talked to, did you eventually go to the Imirowicz home?
I did.
When did you do that?
I did that after I spoke with Konrad Imirowicz later in the night.
Okay. And what did you do when you got there?
When I got there, I went inside the residence. I observed what was to be a messy house, and I took pictures of what I thought at the time was evidence.
And Judge, can I use the screen?
Yes.
Admitted as People's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize that?
I do, sir.
Is this a photo that you took?
It is.
Okay. Can you tell us about the scene here?
Yeah, so when you walk in the house, it's a bi-level house. So we took the right to go up the right staircase. Where that picture was taken, it was to the left. So once you get up on the landing of the staircase on the upper level, you take a left, and the couch was right there. When we walked in, that's exactly what we saw, and that's what we photographed.
Okay. Tell us about the condition of the couch.
The condition of the couch, it's obviously not the best shape, but it appeared to be moist, wet. You could see visible areas of the leather or whatever material that is. Then you saw, the blanket right there with the bottle at the time, with the white stuff sprinkled all over the couch.
Did you know what the white stuff was when you saw it?
At the time, I didn't move anything, so I did not at first.
Okay. As part of your investigation, did you eventually obtain the bottle that's shown there?
I did.
Okay, you took it in evidence?
I did.
And what's the process for preserving evidence?
The process of preserving evidence is you collect a piece of evidence, and then you take it to our post, and then it's just the chain of custody, just so no one touches it, stuff like that. You collect it, you preserve it, and then you bring it to the post, and then the property sergeant handles it therefore after.
Okay. And when did you actually go and get the bottle?
I went, so I photographed this on the day of the incident. It was probably about 2 to 3 weeks later when I went to get the bottle.
Okay. And when you went to get the bottle, when you came back to the scene, had anything changed?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Was there anything you observed that indicated that there was any difference in the bottle or its condition?
Not to my knowledge.
Judge, I'm showing counsel. Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm showing what I've previously marked as people's proposed Exhibit 9. Do you recognize that, sir?
I do.
What is it?
It is a bottle of household 100% lye drain opener.
Is that the bottle that you found?
It is.
Is that the way you packaged it?
It is.
And is that the way you preserved it for evidence?
It is.
Does that very inaccurately show the condition as it was when you collected it and also the night you saw it?
Yes, sir.
I move to admit people's proposed Exhibit 9.
No objection.
So admitted.
Tell us what the bottle says in the front.
Okay, so the bottle says on the front, crystals of household, 100% lye drain opener. It says, gets the clog out.
All right, at the bottom, there's a red label, is that right?
Correct.
What's on the red label?
From what I can read, it says danger, poison, something swallowed or inhaled, causes severe burns, and then the rest is kind of covered with the white powder.
Is there a picture on it?
There is.
What's the picture?
The picture shows a skull with crossbones.
Now, the bag is completely sealed, correct?
Correct.
Nothing can get out?
Correct.
Even so, Judge, I'm just going to show it to the jury versus let them handle it. Of course, if they want to look at it more closely, they can take it in the back.
Thank you.
When you got there, was the bottle full, empty? How much was in it?
The bottle was fairly empty. There could have been a couple particles of the substance in the bottle.
And in fact, there's some here in the bag, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you pick up any of the powder that was on the couch and put it in the bag?
I did not. The remaining powder fell out.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to take you back to when you first made the scene. You talked to the witnesses who were present, correct?
Correct.
Then you talked to medical staff.
Correct.
Now, did you talk to Konrad that night?
I talked to Konrad later in the night.
Okay. Did you talk to Megan that night?
Later in the night.
Do you know which one you talked to first?
I talked to Konrad first.
Okay. Where did you speak to Konrad?
I spoke to Konrad at Hurley Medical Center in Flint.
Okay. So this was after he had been transferred?
Correct.
Do you recall what time it was?
I'd say probably around 10 to 11 o'clock is when I got to Hurley Hospital to interview Konrad.
Okay. And when you got there, what was his condition?
His condition was stable. Obviously, he had a lot of pain, but the medical staff provided him adequate medication for that pain. So he was alert, he was conscious, he was able to speak with me coherently.
All right. Were there other people in the room when you were talking to him?
Hospital staff, nurses, I'm presuming doctors.
Okay. And did you record that interview?
I did.
Okay. Judge, I'm showing what is going to be marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 21. Trooper, I'm going to need you to come down and unlock it.
You gonna want the lights off again, Judge?
Yes, please. Now, Trooper, we were just reviewing this. Is this the recording of you interviewing Konrad?
Correct.
And it's fair and accurate?
Correct.
Judge, I move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit 21.
I've seen it, no objection.
So admitted.
She wanted to go with Eric because investigator for whatever reason. So they were going to go to a hotel. Then she wanted her hair colored. She's got really dark hair. Probably black like your mask. And it's very hard to color.
But you got a pacemaker, right?
No.
No?
No. Nothing.
Nothing in you at all?
No.
Do you mind if we go in your house?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Door's open.
That's fine.
And so I don't know last night, she threw a bunch of stuff at me, got mad.
What do you like stuff meaning?
There's she rearranged her bedroom, so there was a mattress on the wall. She heaved that, went crazy on that stuff. I've asked her to take out the garbage several times, and that hasn't been working. But
Is this kind of, I'm trying to gauge this. Is this a normal behavior that she would throw stuff on you to burn you?
no. She usually it's an argument. I get mad at her, she gets mad at me. We badmouth each other. It's about normal, right? But this is new. This is very, very new. So last night I had half a Smirnoff. Put the bottle down. Put the cork back out.
Fit the Smirnoff?
No, it was a little.
Oh, the airplane size?
No, that was the Smirnoff. What do you call it? Ice.
Oh, beer, like the beer thing.
Beer.
Yeah, like the seltzer.
Right? Lemonade. So I watched staff to watch the movie, shut off my phone, call it a night. Pretty early. This morning, I got up, finished my Smirnoff, watched the rest of the movie, went back to that. And then, next I know, I got all kinds of people in the house with,
Were you sleeping when this happened, or were you
Yes.
unconscious?
No, sleeping. I wasn't unconscious. I didn't have anything to drink. I don't even have to smear off, give me a break. I was thinking about getting her some breakfast and stuff, or making some, I was going to get her breakfast, because, I was got the 2 for $5 thing going. Teams. So I was going to do that. Well, you done, or am I still too much? Okay, go ahead.
I won't bother you that much. All I need, if you don't remember, you don't remember. All I just want to know if we could go into your house to investigate what happened.
Go ahead. The door is open, right, Dustin? So I'm locked.
The door is open. Yes, I have.
There's a bunch of cats.
Let me talk to him and then we'll talk out there.
All the cats can go out except for a little gray one.
Okay.
Probably she's tidy.
Right.
That one, she's not old enough to go outside yet.
Okay.
Right? But
Do you mind if I see your hand? If you just want to flip it.
pull this cover off. I can't. The legs. Carefully show the legs.
Are you wrapped up in this?
Yeah, good. We're wrapped up.
You're wrapped in like a bungee or whatever. Can you see that good enough, or do you need a little more? It's like this on the other leg.
It gets good too.
Is he okay to lift that up like this?
You see it? Yeah. All right.
Do you have it on your back? You don't have to get up, but I'm just asking.
Part of the head. I don't know. I got it on my. You can see my shoulder if you wanted to full down.
It's okay.
Can I show him the pictures that I took?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. Okay, I will. I appreciate it. You get better, and I'll keep in contact with your family. Okay.
All right, tell us.
Yep. All right. All right. We'll feel better. Okay. Well.
Yeah, I'm on that.
Is that the end of your interview with him?
Correct.
And it was after that that you went to the house?
Correct.
And it was,
Okay, there we have a look at the victim there after being interviewed in the hospital. That body cam video. Let's get a break in here and get back into the courtroom for more from the lead investigator in this case, the final witness for the state of Michigan. Plus, we're still waiting to find out what was on that mystery video that surfaced today. Stay with us.
Michigan daughter now facing charges.
Megan Imirowicz is accused of throwing lye and water on her own father while he was sleeping.
The chemical reaction caused severe burns and ultimately his death.
Police caught up with the daughter, and she was arrested soon after.
The teen faces life in prison if convicted.
And Court TV will bring you inside the courtroom for every moment.
The Sleeping Father Death Trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV.
We are watching the trial for 19-year-old Megan Imirowicz in Pontiac, Michigan. Prosecutors say that Megan threw drain cleaner on her father while he slept on a couch, and it led to his death months later. The defense says there's no evidence that Megan threw the chemicals on her father. On the stand right now is Trooper Hunter Smith. He's the lead investigator in this case. He went to the hotel where Megan was having her 18th birthday party, and he went there to question her. There's dash cam video being played for the jury. Let's watch.
What's your name by chance?
Chloe.
Chloe what?
John Howard.
John Howard. You got any friends in here named Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's alright. You mind stepping out and talking to me for a minute? You got any weapons on you?
No.
Okay, we're just gonna go talk in front of my car, okay? You know why we're here?
No.
You don't know?
My dad.
Yeah. So we're just making sure, making sure he's okay. We talked to right over in front of this car. He's actually at the hospital right now. So I don't know if you know that or not. So you know why we're here?
I know that they told me that he has some kind of burn on him.
So
I'm just going to stop this for a moment. Trooper, who's that in the center of the frame?
That'd be Megan Imirowicz.
Okay, that's this person here I'm indicating with my cursor?
Correct.
And who is this with my cursor?
That'd be myself.
And who's over here?
That'd be Trooper Corona.
And right here?
Trooper Baldwin.
Okay.
when was the last time you were at the house?
Around 10. I left around 10:30 maybe.
Okay. And right now you're not in trouble, you're not under arrest. I'm just seeing what happened, okay? We have a couple stories from Austin, and a couple other people. So we're getting your story, okay? So in greater detail, what happened today? So you left at 10 o'clock.
All right, let's slip in a commercial break here. We'll watch more of this. A little hard to understand. We are getting some notes from the courtroom, though, so when we come back, we'll kind of fill in the blanks. Megan Imirowicz, the defendant, talking to police, being told that her dad's in the hospital, and they're wondering what happened here. Back with more after this.
I started hearing these stories about murder and stuff.
I'm about to be the biggest drug dealer that you can become.
Oh my God, are they starting a war with me or what?
I'm not gonna lie, it felt good to be a gangster.
She just points the gun right in my face.
Boom, 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 boom.
Just shoots me.
We knew that what we were doing had consequences, but we just didn't care.
Vice on Court TV, tonight at 7/6 Central, only on Court TV.
Welcome back. Testimony underway this morning in the sleeping father death trial out of the state of Michigan. Prosecutors say then 18-year-old Megan Imirowicz threw a hazardous chemical on her father, Konrad. After the two got into an argument, Konrad would later die from his injuries 5 months later. Right now, the jury is viewing dash cam video of Megan the night her dad was taken to the hospital. It's very difficult to hear the conversation, but we're getting a readout of it from the courtroom, from our team in the courtroom, and we'll read a little bit of this because and talk about it. This is very important. The officer is asking Megan about the white substance, and he says, do you remember a white powder? Now you can see that they are putting her under arrest there outside the hotel room where she was having her 18th birthday. Let's listen and see if we can pick this up.
Judge, I'm stopping the video at 15 minutes and 30 seconds for the record.
Thank you.
Trooper, what was your sense from that conversation?
Well, my sense from that conversation was there's only two individuals in the house. There's Megan, there's Konrad, right? Konrad has, superficial burns, quite extensive burns on his body. There's only two people in the house. I was trying to figure out, was this self-inflicted or, was this deliberate by, the defendant? Stuff along those lines. Just trying to gauge the situation, interviewing all parties, part of my due diligence as a police officer.
Okay. I want to ask another question. One of your comrade troopers mentioned something to her about fingerprints coming off the bottle. When you were trained as a police officer, were you told what fingerprints are?
I was.
And do you know how they obtain them?
I do.
How do they obtain them?
So there's different types of ways to obtain a fingerprint. So for example, this bottle, it's a white bottle. Usually we use black powder. And then you kind of sprinkle the black powder on the bottle lightly. It'd be hard in this sense just because there's so much chemicals on there. But anyways, you'd sprinkle that light powder, apply an adhesive tape, and then lift the fingerprint off. And that's how you kind of preserve a fingerprint.
Now, did you try and do that in this case?
I did not.
Why not?
Because she said she brought the groceries in. I mean, in our opinions as, on that scene, troopers on that day, we figured it wasn't necessary at that time.
So when she said she brought the groceries in, her fingerprints could have been on the bottle for a completely other reason.
Yeah, it could have been on anything.
All right. It might not be indicative of guilt or innocence at all.
Correct.
All right. And also there was chemicals on it, you said.
Correct.
Okay. I don't have anything else, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Long.
Thank you, John. So you arrived at Hurley Hospital, correct?
Later in the night, correct.
Later in the night. Had you been to Genesis Hospital first?
Yes.
You didn't talk to Mr. Imirowicz at Genesis Hospital, did you?
No, at the time, no.
So what time did you get to Hurley Hospital?
Like I said, probably around 11:30 to 12 o'clock in that general time frame.
11:30, 12 o'clock at night, correct?
Correct.
So you went to Hurley Hospital, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And then you had the interview with Mr. Imirowicz.
Correct.
And we saw that on the tape. You also talked to Julie Conrad, correct?
Earlier in the night at Ascension Genesis, correct?
At Genesis you talked to her, all right. Did she give you the location of Megan?
She did.
Did she give it to you then or later on?
If I recall correctly, I believe I didn't ask at that time just because we needed to go talk to Conrad, go to the house. So I think I was in communications with her via text message. And I'm pretty sure that's how we obtained the accurate location when we went to go try to interview her.
And that's in text message with Julie Conrad, correct?
Either text message or phone call, I don't recall.
All right, but that's who you talked to, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you left there, you got there 11:30, 12 o'clock. This is at night, right? You got to answer yes or no.
Yes, sir, sorry.
No problem. You then went to the house?
If I recall correctly, could I look at my report?
You can look at your report.
Okay. Okay.
So after you left Hurley, you went to the house?
After I left Hurley, I went to the Quality Inn to interview.
Okay.
I apologize.
About what time did you leave the Quality Inn? Or leave to go to the Quality Inn?
Around that time frame. I wasn't at the hospital that long, so maybe 10, 15 minutes later.
So you said you got to the hospital at 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Right.
So you left the hospital 12:15?
If I got there at 11:30, probably left around 11:45. If I got there around midnight, probably 12:15.
All right, so it was late. Mr. Imirowicz, Conrad never said his daughter threw anything at him, correct?
In the interview with Conrad, he states something was thrown at him. He didn't give specifics.
All right. And he said it was the night before, correct?
I don't recall if it was the night before on that video specifically or the day of, because he said a couple contradicting events.
You were given information with regard to his alcohol level, correct?
I was.
And based on what the report says, you had it about a 0.3?
Yep, the nurse, when we got in there, said he was at about a 0.3.
Okay. And that's a significant amount of alcohol.
I'd say so.
He indicated to you he had, if I remember correctly, he woke up in the morning, finished watching his movie, and finished the half bottle of Smirnoff Ice.
What he described as the seltzer beer bottle, Smirnoff Ice.
Is it possible for him to get a 0.3 if he had just that amount of alcohol?
No.
In the morning?
No, sir.
He had to have had a significant amount of alcohol, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, just for information, when you pull somebody over, and I assume you do road patrol as well.
I do.
All right. There's a level where if someone blows above that level, you take him to the hospital, correct?
In some instances, yes.
Usually what level is that to take him to the hospital?
It's very dependent, circumstantial. Some people are functioning alcoholics that would exhibit maybe a 0.25 or a 0.3, but they seem coherent. They seem, coherent enough to, do sobrieties and, go to jail and stuff like that. It's all situational based. There's not a protocol for Michigan State Police, no.
All right. If he was a 0.3 at, what was it, 9 o'clock when he got to Hurley, do you know what he'd have been at 4 o'clock when the ambulance showed up?
Judge, I'm going to object. That would call for speculation as to the individual rate of a person metabolizing alcohol.
Response.
If he knows, Your Honor, first of all, I will rephrase.
Thank you.
Have you been trained in alcohol enough to know what the blood alcohol level would be several hours before?
Yes, sir.
You have?
Yes, sir.
So if he blew a .3 at 9 o'clock at night, do you know what he would have blown at 4 o'clock in the afternoon?
Again, he could have been coming down, as far as blood alcohol coming down or coming up. There'd be no way to tell as when he started drinking and if he's either going up as far as intox, wise, or going down. So unfortunately, you wouldn't know.
It would be substantially higher than a .3, though, correct?
If he was going up, yeah.
He indicated he had half of a Smirnoff Ice in the morning after he woke up and he watched TV, and then he went to bed, correct?
Correct. And
again, that's not possible. He had to have more alcohol than that, correct?
In my professional opinion, yes.
Now, you went then, after you interviewed him, you indicated you went to the Quality Inn, right?
Yes, sir.
You went to the Quality Inn, you were looking for some individuals.
Correct.
Had you been told what those individuals were there for?
Briefly, I might have been told briefly about a birthday party of some sort.
Okay. You pulled in and you saw these group of individuals in the car.
I did.
And you thought this was possibly them.
I did.
How long, any idea what time of night it was?
Again, it was later in the night. It was dark out, I'd say around midnight.
Well, if you got to the hospital at 11:30 and left at 11:45, how long a drive is it from Flint to Waterford?
Need a break, get you back in the courtroom. More right after this. Stay with us.
Michigan daughter now facing charges.
Megan Imirowicz is accused of throwing lye and water on her own father while he was sleeping.
The chemical reaction caused severe burns and ultimately his death.
Police caught up with the daughter, and she was arrested soon after.
The teen faces life in prison if convicted.
And Court TV will bring you inside the courtroom for every moment.
The Sleeping Father Death Trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV.
All right, let's go back to the courtroom. 19-year-old Megan Imirowicz on trial. Final witness for the state on the stand. It's cross-examination. Let's go in live.
In relation to the couch.
Whereabouts on the couch in the house was that white cloud?
Correct. So once you go up the right side of the stairs, you get on the top level. If you hang a left, that's the living room. The couch is facing what would be the south wall, right under a window. The bottle of lye was on the left-hand side of the couch if you're looking south in the household towards the couch and the window.
So it was on the couch?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if anyone had been to that house before you? After this incident and before you?
Well, sure. The EMS was in there when they loaded Konrad up. I was told that there was other individuals that went in the house to check out the scene.
Were you aware that Julie Konrad was sent back to the house by Austin Imirowicz?
I was not.
Were you aware that they were in the house?
I was not.
Okay. Do you know if anyone else was in the house?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. All right. If I could have just a second.
All right, that's the end of the cross-examination of the lead detective in this case. Mike King's been watching along with us. He's a retired police commander and host of Profiling Evil, the podcast. Mike, what's your take on this case overall? I mean, the more we hear about it, the lifestyle that this individual was living, and Megan was in this household, an 18-year-old, just turned 18. There's a lot of moving parts.
I think the defense is going to be rather successful if they can somehow appeal to the emotion of the jury in this particular one, Ted. I mean, this kid was living in what doesn't sound like great circumstances, may have hit her breaking point. I think the evidence is pretty strong that it's going to lean toward her. I was a little frustrated that law enforcement still didn't get some forensics off of the can of Drano. But, you know, I guess you make those kinds of decisions, and it's always easy to be the Monday morning quarterback. But I'll tell you personally, I'm having flashbacks to a case right in my own town many years ago that ended up in the death penalty and execution of 2 killers who used Drano to kill 3 individuals. And I just want to impress upon the audience how incredibly powerful this substance of lie is, because they were forced to drink this Drano, kind of following a pattern of a 1973 movie that was out where a sex trade worker was forced to do that. But it was so bad that the killers actually taped their mouths with masking tape after pouring the Drano down them. But the burns were so bad that it blistered and burned and tore the tape off just from the impact. So seeing those injuries on him, looking and referencing back to those old murder cases, I'll tell you, this is a tragic, horrible scene.
Yeah, it is dangerous stuff, and people don't realize it. It's under a lot of people's kitchen cabinets. All right, let's just pick up the, it sounds like there's a little redirect here of the final witness before we expect the state will rest. Let's watch it.
Unfortunately, it would be hard to tell just because it was so messy.
Okay. I don't have anything else, Judge.
Just briefly, you've been trained to detect marijuana, I guess, I assume.
I have.
What do you do to detect marijuana?
Just the odor of marijuana. If you are investigating a OWI scene on the road, you do a lack of convergence test, just to test their eyes and test their balance and stuff along those lines.
Did you do that in this case?
I did not.
All right. And Mr. Imirowicz didn't need any tests. You knew he was a .3, correct?
Well, he was, yeah, correct.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, do you have any questions? Okay, sir, can you write down, please? Can you do it first?
In this case, jury can ask questions. They have one. Let's listen.
Yes, please.
Oh.
Location of the bottle cap.
I do not.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, any other questions?
Actually, Judge, can I ask one follow-up with that?
Yeah, let me get to you. And ladies and gentlemen, any other questions?
No, same question.
Go ahead, Mr. Sands.
Just to be clear, there was a couple bottles there, so let's break them down. Do you know the location of the bottle cap for the lye bottle?
I do not.
Okay. There were other bottles present, correct?
There was lots of bottles present.
Okay. Presumably you saw some bottle tops, but you did not know where the bottle of lye top was.
Correct. It was too messy for me to rifle around everything.
Thank you.
That covered my questions.
Any other questions? Okay, sir, you may step down and excuse your witness.
Thank you, Howard.
Judge, the people have no other witnesses.
People rest?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, people rest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:51. The people have rested. The defense will have an opportunity to call witnesses if they would like. Is this a good time for you to take your lunch? Would you like to take your lunch now? Okay. Do you have witnesses?
They're supposed to meet me in like 7 or 8 minutes in the cafeteria, so I should have witnesses.
Okay, would you want 1 o'clock?
How about 1:15?
1:15. Okay, we'll come back at 1:15. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, the jury.
All right, there you go. The state has rested. The defense case will begin at 1:15 Eastern time. We'll have it for you. Mike King, your thoughts now, the end of the state's case. We saw that body camera video, and in it we had a transcript coming from the courtroom, and they asked, did you throw white powder? Was that one of the things? And she said, yes, I think so. that an admission on that body camera could be important, but as we talked about earlier, there's a lot going on here, including the fact this place was so messy they couldn't find the top of the lye bottle. Was he so drunk he was rubbing it on himself? There's so many questions. Where the state is now, have they proven this beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yeah, I think they have, Ted. I think, again, they've laid out a good circumstantial case. This admission is really powerful and adds to that. The beauty of these kinds of cases is they're not bent on one single form of evidence. They've got physical evidence. They've got forensic evidence. They've got admission, maybe not fully a confession. And they have all kinds of behavioral evidence. I think the defense, when they come out, they've got to come out swinging.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think they have a lot to come out swinging about in terms of what was going on in that house. Mike King, as always, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. We'll get a